One of Elliot Sang's videos showed up in my feed recently. Cheap recipes are getting popular, this is a bad sign, and it inspired me to acknowledge the elephant in the room and explain the recent change in direction on this channel.
Is that people are looking for affordable recipes for a reason. This economy's bad. It's getting worse, and it's really important now more than ever that we learn how to sustain ourselves with whatever's available.
I have done cheap recipes on this channel before, and those videos were actually my best performing. I could have ridden the wave and grown this channel making that kind of content exclusively, and I got comments from well-meaning people saying I should do just that, grow big and make a lot of money. But I didn't rebrand as a money-saving channel back then, and here's why. Audience capture. I noticed some of the viewership those videos attracted were the more conservative, fire variety of penny pinchers. People who think poverty is a personal failing and you can bootstrap your way to wealth by spending as little money as humanly possible on life's basic needs and joys. I was afraid that those people would influence the tone of my videos and that this channel would become something I hated. Oatmeal and tea. I actually don't eat oatmeal for breakfast that often, but I'm hoping to change that because it ticks all the boxes. It is cheap, it is nutritious, it is really easy and fast to make, and it tastes pretty good. Like, it's not my favorite thing, but it's fine. I like it okay. The oatmeal itself was only 300 calories, so I added these chopped pecans and dried cherries to give it more nutritional value and more calories, so it'll be more food for me, and also to make it tastier. You can zhuzh your oatmeal up any way you like. I just happen to add the things that I added because they're things that I already had in my pantry, and they're frankly getting kind of old, and I want to use them up before they go bad. I mean, dried fruit and nuts don't really go bad, but they can kind of go off in flavor or get stale. So, just word to the wise, immediately after you finish eating your oatmeal, fill your bowl with water so you don't have to spend like 5 minutes washing it later. So I got a bunch of new subscribers recently. Hi if you're new. I make a lot of food on this channel, and I also work at home, so that's how I am able to cook all my meals at home. But I'm trying to focus on recipes that are more approachable and easy to prepare for people who might not live at home and might not have a lot of spare time. I'm primarily a Japanese to English entertainment translator by trade. I also write and make YouTube videos. And today I'm going to be translating a bunch of manga for Shonen Jump. I'm very excited. This is my favorite work day of the week. I came out to water my garden and I just wanted to show you all this ridiculous planter. Okay, let me step back so I can okay, this entire planter, see the abundant, lush plantage growing in there, all those tomatoes, all this squash. This is all volunteer. I planted none of this. The only thing that I planted is this cilantro plant right here that I'm letting bolt because, you know, the weather's been warm. I might harvest the seeds and like use them as coriander because that's what this is. It's coriander, you know, the spice. Anyway, these are like 2 or 3 squash plants, and they were growing in such a perfect row that I thought maybe I planted them and forgot. I thought that they were these summer squashes. But anyway, yeah, this is volunteer. Now that I have a female blossom, I can tell. It's like a volunteer butternut squash, but as you can see, it's kind of striped. That stripage might stay. So yeah, because this is a volunteer, the squash might not actually be edible. It might be toxic. So I'm gonna let it be. I'm gonna let it grow anyway because it's not always toxic if you have a volunteer squash plant or cross-pollination, but it might be. So I'm going to be very careful. I'm going to test it if I get any fruit to see if I actually can eat it. And don't worry, like death from this sort of thing is extremely rare. Like usually you just like get, you know, throw up and have diarrhea and stuff. But yeah, we'll see. But these volunteer tomato plants, they came from last year's volunteer tomato plants, which I did not plant. I think they came from seeds from my compost or from our neighbor's dirt that somehow got mixed in here that had tomato seeds. Anyway, it's starting to fruit. I got a bunch of flowers. I'm still getting a bunch of flowers. And now I also have fruit. Look at all these tomatoes. Look at all the tomatoes. I'm so excited because I love tomatoes so much. This bed is mostly kale that I planted from seed that I got from a neighbor's kale plant. This is what it looks like when it goes to seed. I'm waiting. Actually, these seed pods are ready to collect now. They're all nice and dried out. I periodically just kind of scatter more. And this is my little kale system so that I hopefully will just have perpetual kale. Oregon is a great place for kale if you didn't know. And then these heirloom tomato plants here, they were free. I was on a walk in the neighborhood and a neighbor had plants in front of their house with a sign that said free. So I took a few. We'll see if they do anything. My area doesn't get a lot of direct sunlight, so bigger fruit does not do well. These are golden beets, and look at that. I'm actually getting a beet right in there if my camera will focus. Focus! And another one there, and two more back there, and another squash that I intentionally planted. That's a summer squash. And a jalapeno pepper. Yeah, this garden by no means will sustain me and my husband. This is just a little extra stuff, but I hope to learn more and expand more every single year and grow more and more of my own food.
And this is Evane, one of my 5 kitties. Evane!
And this is her twin sister, Donica. They were foster kittens of ours that we adopted. I've been in poverty, or close to it, most of my life. Cooking myself delicious gourmet feasts is one of the few ways that I can have some semblance of luxury without breaking the bank. I started this channel to share my love of food and to have fun with food. And I have a lot more fun on this channel when I'm sharing extravagant recipes I invented, or when I'm making every burger from Bob's Burgers, or when I'm parodying other cooking channels. A few shakes of cayenne. So why am I pivoting to cheap recipes? Like Elliot Sang said, there is a desperate need for it. In so-called developed countries like mine, the middle class is rapidly shrinking. The mega-rich are hoarding all the money, and they've bought themselves the power to keep siphoning more money off the rest of us. People who used to call themselves non-political are quickly figuring out that they need to get political fast if they don't want to starve or live on the street. We're wasting money on wars instead of spending it on helping people. Global instability is causing runaway price increases and supply chain disruptions. And meanwhile, anthropogenic climate change is threatening to collapse our food systems. Everything is going to change very quickly, and I don't think we're ready. I want to empower people to feed themselves nutritious, delicious food that will help fuel us through the current crisis and the crises to come. We need to relearn basic survival skills, and cooking is one of the most essential of all. The other reason I'm pivoting to cheap recipes on this channel is a personal one. I'm struggling, just like the rest of you. While I love what I do for a living, translating Japanese manga and books does not pay enough to support my family, so I've been eating cheaper out of necessity. Meanwhile, I've been working very hard on my evenings and weekends the past couple years writing a series of novels, and I'm about to finally publish the first one. This is a major gamble. I have faith in my writing, and I hope my novels sell well, but they might not. So I'm hoping that by focusing on cheap recipes on this channel, I can monetize something I would be doing anyway, eating cheap, and I can help other people feed themselves for cheap at the same time. I always feel yucky asking for money, but if you've enjoyed my videos, if you've learned something useful, or if you've saved money from my tips and recipes, I do have a Patreon, a coffee, and super thanks. I'll also have a nice shiny new novel you can buy pretty soon. Please don't give me any money if you yourself are struggling. AdSense doesn't pay much, but it does pay me something. Just like, comment, share, you know all the YouTube things you're watching this video. And on that note, let's eat some mujadara. Alright, this took a lot longer to cook than I thought it would because it's my first time making it and I had to film it. Anyway, this is the Palestinian mujadara. I've been following a Palestinian cooking channel on YouTube for a while and I really like the videos, so I'll link the video below that I used to make this dish. But basically this is rice and lentils with fried onions and then some other condiments. And Yeah, I mean, rice and lentils is pretty much the cheapest protein you can eat, especially brown lentils. I'm not a big fan of brown lentils, so let's see what I think of this. Oh, the fried onions really help it, man. Yeah, you fry the onions and then you put some of the fry oil into the mijadra, into the rice and lentils that are also seasoned with just cumin and salt. Those are the only seasonings, but like it tastes very rich. I mean, complex, I mean not rich as in like unctuous and fatty rich. But there is a little bit of that from the fry oil from the onion. This is surprisingly good. I'm happy. It's like my nap time already and I'm so tired, but this is picking me up. Okay, and on the side, this was also in the video. It's like a cucumber yogurt salad condiment. Mine looks kind of gross because I put Kashmiri chili powder in it because I didn't have Aleppo pepper, and so it turned it pink, but it tastes good. And the combination of the cucumbers, yogurt, and spices, and lemon juice, and garlic with this njadara, they go really well together because this is like earthy, and then you combine it with this bright flavor here. And we have mostly cheap ingredients here, by the way. Cucumbers are cheap, onions are cheap, rice and lentils are cheap, oil is cheap. Yogurt is one of the more expensive items on this plate, actually, and that partly just depends on what brand of yogurt you get. But I only use like 1/2 to 3/4 of a cup in this meal, so it's not that much. And then the spices can be expensive, but I grew the mint myself. It grows like a weed, it's very easy to grow. And then this is just a simple slaw that I made of carrots and cabbage because those veggies are very cheap and very good for you and very versatile, and they last forever in your fridge. Well, they last a very long time in your fridge. So if you're poor but you want to be healthy, carrots and cabbage. I like it.
So I will be focusing on cheap recipes on this channel for a while, but I'll still occasionally post fancy or fun recipes, and I won't let audience capture distort the ethos of this channel. Everyone is welcome to stay and learn how to cook delicious and nutritious meals for cheap, but just so you know, this space is unapologetically woke. I teach cheap recipes from a place of empathy, not austerity. Poor people should be empowered, not punished. So now that that's out of the way, let's eat some ground-up legumes on a mutated herb.
Okay, if you didn't grow up in the US, you're probably gonna think this is the weirdest thing ever, but this is celery with peanut butter on it. I needed a few hundred more calories to finish my day, and peanut butter. This is an amazing, cheap source of protein and pretty healthy fats. I think this is like one of the kinds of unsaturated fats that's not technically the best for you out of all the unsaturated fats, but it's unsaturated fat and good protein, and it's nutritionally very dense. Like 1 tablespoon of this has 100 calories, which is a good thing. Calories are good. They make you full and nourished. But anyway, good snack. Again, if you did not grow up in the US, you're gonna think this is disgusting, but it's pretty good. We often would add raisins to this and call it ants on a log, but I never liked it with raisins. I like it without, so. And celery, at least where I live, celery is one of the cheaper veggies you can buy. There's not really that much nutritional value in them. They're mostly water and like a little fiber. But you know, they're nice and refreshing, and they work surprisingly well with the creamy peanut butter. And this only took me like 2 minutes to make, so.
Cooking your own food won't save the world. Eating beans and rice won't save the world. But it is something each one of us can start doing to make our lives a little more affordable so we can sleep better at night, to make us healthier so we have more energy to help others, to learn how to feed ourselves and each other for when our governments and our food systems fail us. Cooking is something you can do to make your life just a little bit better, and if we all did that, the world would be a little bit better too.